Angel, nice to meet you. I'm Charlotte, nice to meet you.
I'm Callum. What do you say?
Nice to meet you. Lauren.
Lauren.
Yeah.
Lovely to meet you all. Yeah. Anybody got any questions?
So, Angel and Charlotte, the focus is on you.
Thanks, Cara.
Far away, far away.
Do you want me to start? Okay, so, did you go to university, and if so, what course did you study?
Was that for you? Or
For
me?
both.
Yes, I went to university. I went to Goldsmiths University in London, and I studied BA Honours in Drama and Theatre Arts.
Wow. Mm.
And I'm coming late to this, which hopefully is inspiring for people. I'm coming from a different route. I studied graphic design. So after school I made a choice to do art rather than drama. Those were my two kind of favourite subjects though. But drama was still, you know, there as an absolute passion of mine. I became a video producer, so I was on the other side of the camera and working with actors, you know, as opposed to being on that side of the camera for quite a while. And about 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I thought, oh, I really would love to get back into acting. And who can I talk to? And as well as joining the adult theatre skills at the Courtyard with Estelle Van Wormelen, I don't know, you may know her, yeah? And she really encouraged me. You know, I worked with her for a bit with, you know, a group of other sort of people who wanted to learn acting skills. And she really encouraged me, and I started looking for an MA, and I couldn't find anything that was close enough and allowed me to carry on my work so that I could keep earning. So she said, why don't you start up or bring this company called Foreplay Theatre Company back out of the embers, because it was set up by 4 young graduates from the Hereford College of Art, which did have a performing arts degree at the time. It doesn't anymore. But when they came out of that degree, they wanted to get their teeth into something and not just be sort of trying to get extras parts and, you know, sort of waiting for the next big opportunity. So they set up their own company, the 4 of them, and they did stuff locally at the Courtyard. They were sort of under the Courtyard's wing. But they then found other routes, they got jobs, they became, you know, they set up their own companies, and so there was this kind of flux of people through the company. And at the time where I was talking to Estelle, it was, you know, in a sort of state of dormancy. So she said, you should go and set that up, because that'll let you get your teeth into some, you know, great drama. So I was able to carry on working and sort of run a theatre company at the same time, and the 4 of us were able to choose the plays that we wanted to play, to, you know, thought there were great parts in them for us and that kind of thing. So it was a really good experience. And then out of that, at the same time, I started talking to Tiff. Tiff's a good friend, and I started doing some work for one of her productions. And this is my first professional tour as a, you know, and it's my first solo show. And we've been funded by the Arts Council and Elmley Foundation, which is a local arts funder. So it's really exciting, you know, it's sort of, you know, started kind of feeling my way back into this 10 years ago, and it feels like it's starting to sort of solidify really now.
When you set your company up, when you were working with the 4 actors, whoever they were in Hereford, did you work on existing plays, or did you commission new work?
Well, that's a good question. Most of it was sort of tried and tested, you know, sort of Jim Cartwright, Carol Churchill.
Oh yes.
So we went for plays that the sort of material that wasn't really getting any oxygen in, you know, that there weren't in Herefordshire, and that was our niche really. Sort of great contemporary writing, I suppose, we felt. And then we did also kind of create some links with I can't remember how now, Nicola Jones. So how did we get? Oh yeah, that's because we did use some outside experts. So we had a professional director who came in and directed one of our shows, and his wife writes for Radio 4, and she had something that she was working on, a script that she was working on, which was great. So she said, would you read it for us? And we all sat round and read it, gave us some feedback, and we went, this is great, we'd really like to put this on. Plus it was about rural issues, young people coming back to, you know, rural town and finding it really hard. So it was perfect for, you know, Herefordshire-based full play. So yeah, so a bit of, I don't suppose we commissioned that, but
No.
it was fresh writing.
Yes, yeah.
And indeed this is a, you know, this is not full play, this is with reaction, but this is
Yeah.
a new piece of writing as well.
Did you always perform in the courtyard, or did you go to village halls or anything like that?
No, we did kind of 1 or 2 maximum productions a year, so it wasn't sort of constant. We all had jobs going on at the same time.
Oh, I see.
The
Yeah.
courtyard was our, we were kind of under the wing of the courtyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made you decide to become
An actress or a director? Well,
it just says A.
yeah. It's all,
Dot.
yeah.
You
Well,
should tell them something about reaction
yes.
company as well, because full play was just.
Well,
how
I was
got
just
into it.
thinking, what's
Yeah.
happening to foreplay now? And
Yeah.
is there
Yeah.
room for another 4 people to come and start
Yeah.
up this
Yeah.
company?
Yeah, it's a really good point.
What is happening?
It is dormant at the moment.
It is dormant at
Yeah.
the moment, people.
Yeah.
A Herefordshire theatre company waiting
Yeah.
to rise again.
Yeah.
It's a Reaction Theatre Makers is a company that we're based in Malvern, and we create touring work and we create new work normally. This is the first play that I've taken on from another writer, so it's quite exciting. Just really love the poetry, but normally we devise work. Do you devise work here? Your own work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we've had a trilogy of 3 plays indeed, going around nationally and getting really good feedback, and we've really enjoyed it. Maybe you can come and see one of our plays sometime in Malvern.
Sure.
Or indeed in Hereford. We have performed in Hereford as well.
Do you do it, is it like a Mike Lee setup where the actors would improvise around a theme and then you would...
I do work with the actors first, because I write the plays as well.
You write the
So
plays, yeah.
I've worked with they on workshopping ideas.
Yes.
Because then it springs from the work springs from the characters.
Yeah.
But no, once this piece is scripted, it's very much a scripted piece.
Yeah.
But there's
yeah.
a lot of movement in the work that I do as well. And I noticed that you do a lot of movement here, dance pieces and such like, which I'm very interested in and I'd love to come and see.
We'll keep you posted about
yeah,
the performances.
and Paul said he would, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Is there a particular genre or style that you like to work with?
Do you want to answer?
I suppose, I mean, I've probably got, I haven't got a kind of incredibly wide experience yet, but I have, and this is been completely different to what I've done in the past. I think what I've done in the past has tended to be more traditional sort of dialogue, natural dialogue stuff, and in terms of kind of genre, either sort of black comedy or gritty subject material. The first thing that we did with full play was, that I did with full play was Rona Munro's Iron, and she's a Scottish playwright, and it's about a woman who's been sent to prison apparently for killing her husband, and she meets her daughter again first time for 10 years, and the whole thing is set around this prison kind of meeting room, so it's very gritty. There's lots of so I very much enjoy stuff that's around social issues and current subjects, and is quite sort of edge of the seat type stuff. And this Well, I suppose, you know, subject-wise it's quite similar. Style-wise it's incredibly different, as you will, you know, see and hear. But I think naturalistic stuff, and with Tiff really enjoying some of the physicality that and movement that she brings into her pieces, if that answers your question. So I haven't done loads of Shakespeare, that's not a big thing, you know, or Chaucer, or you know, kind of. So yeah, the more contemporary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What was the first like professional, like sort of paid job that you did? Like
Acting job, do you
Yeah.
mean?
Acting job?
Yeah.
Well, I did some voiceovers. That was probably the very first, and that was yeah. I suppose I kind of got in the back door because because I was doing video production, and then on the side I as a job, and then on the side I was doing foreplay stuff, and some of my people who I worked with came to see the foreplay stuff, which was unpaid. We if there's any profit, then great, there's a profit share, but most of the time there's no profit, so you're just doing it, and kind of covering your costs. So they came to see that, and then there would be a couple of times where people go, we need a voiceover for this video, so I would be, and I got paid for that. So that little things like that just kind of started, and then similarly with kind of corporate videos, and then sort of lateral. I think this is the first one I've really been paid for theatre.
Yeah, for touring theatre, maybe it is.
Yeah.
A lot of the time when you're working in the arts, you have to find funding from organisations. Like we said, this was an Arts Council funded organisation, and certainly if you were setting up your own company, that's what you would look to do. You'd look to fund your projects, and then you would pay yourself or pay your actors through that.
That's a little another.
What do you guys want to do?
I'm not 100% sure yet, but I think going into like education within primary schools, hopefully.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, that's that. Yeah. Oh, and you can do. I've just been today to see a theatre workshop for children, actually. So you could do a theatre and education project, couldn't you? Where you go out into schools, and that was great. Do any of you want to be actors like they? Is that what you'd like to do?
I have mixed feelings on the subject. Well, I would, very much so, but it's as long as you get a good start,
Yeah,
it's getting a good start, which is
yeah.
sometimes a problem.
Getting your foot in the door.
Yeah.
That's why they're asking you questions about how you started,
Yeah.
because part of this exercise is to try and build a portfolio so that the students understand the whole process
Yeah.
from training through. How do you get your own job? They's explained to us it was through,
It's not that easy.
it's not
It's not always a direct line.
and it's not always a case of just going to drama school and then an agent spotting you
No.
and then you're off doing
And
it.
sometimes
It's
you've got
it's
to
much
do lots of different things. I mean, I've worked in theatre ever since I left university. I've never done anything else, actually. But I teach, I program theatre, I write, I direct, I've even sometimes do a bit of acting. So you might have to do a lot of different things within your field, to keep it, to keep yourself afloat. And it's not, if you love it like I do, it's not a problem at all. It's a joy.
it's your vocation.
Yeah.
How did you start directing? Or what was your first job after leaving Goldsmiths? That's quite a calling card, really, isn't it?
That's true. After I left Goldsmiths, my first job, I set up a theatre company in Cardiff, and I used to do some stuff at the Chapter Arts Centre there. Then I moved to Kent, and I worked at the Kent Autistic Trust teaching drama, and I found I absolutely absolutely loved that. And so I've always done a bit of that ever since. And I've always done some theatre and I used to do a TIE project going around all the high schools in Worcestershire. And then started directing for touring about 5 years ago. Yeah.
So it's very much a mix and match,
journey.
a mix and match
Yeah.
existence, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would you go back and do a bit of graphic design if you?
Do you know,
If you weren't
I never
doing
did
this?
any, but
Oh,
what I
didn't
did do was video production.
Oh, I see.
So I got those kind of, and what I've done more recently is fundraising. So as in writing applications for grants for arts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's mostly been in the media field of. In fact, I used to work for Rural Media,
Oh, yes.
the Rural Media charity, which is here in Hereford, and I worked for them for 10 years, and that was quite useful because I was quite confident when working with Tim. Oh, hello. About I can help write this funding bid if we're going to go for it to the Arts Council. So having that skill of knowing how to how to sell something, how to tick the right boxes to the funders, I think it's quite helpful as well.
It's very important as well.
Mm.
How difficult was it to get funding from the Arts Council?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, there's several strata of there's several funding schemes, and there's one that is called Grants for the Arts, and within that there are several layers, aren't there?
Yeah.
So there's the kind of over £15,000 that if you're applying to for over 15,000, then there's the under £15,000. And as you would imagine, it's simpler process to apply for under 15,000, and they tell you faster as well. I think we had to wait 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Whereas if you go for the over 15,000, even if it's 16,000, you're in a different, area, and you have to wait like 3 months. And there's a couple of sometimes there's interviews and stuff as well, aren't there? So
it's a really good idea to build up a relationship with your funders and go and see them, and with your local council if you really are serious about what you're doing, because they have to. You need them on your side to endorse everything you're doing. So we have really strong relationships with our district council, our town council, our county council, so that they support our work. So because it's exciting for the town to have a theatre company,
And it is all these days. It's all about partnerships as well. I don't know whether you've sort of heard that term, but the more people that you can say have been, organisations that have helped out, or that you've given them an opportunity. So, the fact that we're working with you guys, and this started because Paul said, yes, come and use our studio to film your trailer that you're going to need to get funding. We had to put a film together to show to the Arts Council. And so that's like, great, we've got a partnership with the Royal National College. And so here we are back again, and hoping that you're going to enjoy this show that you've helped make happen. And that is the sort of thing that the Arts Council really values. And the more that you can build partnerships with, organisations in your community, the more likely you are to get the funding, because you look like you're kind of, serious, and that you're trying to make the most of the funding, and that you're trying to do the most good with it,
How do you manage in lean periods? When?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I've got my husband is a project manager of building eco house, houses, and so I work for him 2 days a week. So that's how that works. And I think, had I done the MA, I was looking to be working part-time and doing an MA part-time. That was when I didn't have any responsibilities of kiddies. So now, that might have been quite hard with children, but now, so that's how I, plus, if I need to, I've got 2 small children at the moment, but I could if I needed to use my freelance skills for helping other arts organisations raise funds, and that's the sort of thing that is flexible. I mean, there's deadlines, but you know how much work there is to do, and so you could kind of fit it around auditions and evening shows and things like that.
And I think you just always have to be thinking into the future, which is a bit of a funny way to live, but you have to be doing one project and thinking about the next one and the next one, actually.
Yes.
So that you've got something coming up then, and then when that's finished, you've got something coming up then.
Yes, and if that funding bid goes down, then it's not the end of the world. You've still got enough time to apply for something else and done. Yeah.
We hear reports of there being cuts to arts funding in general, either from councils or from the Arts Council and the lottery. It seems to be that it's a lot more competitive these days.
I think it really is. I mean,
Have you suffered?
Not really.
As a result? No.
Reaction Theatre Makers hasn't really suffered, so
No.
I'm not really best placed to answer that. But I did have a meeting last week and with somebody from the big lottery, and he was telling me, how desperate things were and how competitive it was. We've just been really fortunate, I think, and pretty fortunate on the whole with the Arts Council as well. But I know that the county council partnership funding has gone right down.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It
no,
has
don't
done
lose heart, because the funding is still out there, I would say.
Mm.
You just have to know that it is and believe that you can.
And pitch your application right.
And pitch your
I mean, a couple of
application
years
right.
ago, Estelle did an application with one of our students because she was coming in to do a bit of work-based learning with them. And one of my students wrote an application, and it was all, she did a rework of Romeo and Juliet and made Juliet blind, and Romeo's family just didn't like her because she was disabled. And Estelle was just like, this is brilliant. This is going to get you loads of money. And it ticked loads of boxes as far as Estelle was concerned. It was the disability and the whatever, I don't know, equality and diversity and all those sort of things.
Maybe that's why Reaction have been successful, because that is at the heart of everything we do, actually, is equality and diversity. It always has been, and it always will be, so maybe that's why.
And you've got quite a strong well-being theme as well, haven't you, sort of around health.
Yeah.
So some of the work that Reaction does is very community-based, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So that's perhaps
working with people with mental health issues and...
But I would say, it's really important to keep hold of what your artistic vision is as well, though.
Yeah.
I really think it is. Otherwise you can lose sight of that. And that's the heart of it, isn't it? It's the actual artistic product, the artistic experience. So,
Yeah. Any more?
Did you know that when you were younger you wanted to go into a career in theatre, or did you have no idea?
Oh, brilliant. I mean, you know, I'm 45 and my husband's 47, and we still don't know what we want to do with our lives. So don't feel, if you're not absolutely clear, it's not unusual. And if you are clear, brilliant, really go for it, I would say. And I could go, I regret that I didn't go down the acting route when I was 18 and I went down another route. But actually, A, that's the choice I made and I had a great time. And B, I think coming to it now suits me really well. I feel as if I've got quite a lot of life experience to bring to these kind of roles now. So, I don't know what's behind that question, but if it's what I project upon it, which is, are you supposed to know what you want to do for the rest of your life when you're 18? I didn't, and I still don't. But you just got to enjoy what you're doing when you're doing it and love it, while you're doing it. And see opportunities and go, do I fancy that? And if you really fancy it, do it.
Yeah.
Listen to your heart, as they say.
How about you, Tiffany? Presumably you did know what you wanted to do.
Well, I sort of,
Want to
and
do.
nowadays I think, oh, do I just do this because it's all I know how to do now after all this time? Because I literally have always done it. Yeah. So
Yes.
so I did. I've always had a love of theatre since I was yay high
Yeah.
till now. So. Yeah, but of all things theatre, not just, I didn't necessarily want to be an actor, you know, I didn't know, but I've always just been involved in theatre.
Yeah.
And I still love it now as much as I did when I was a clinic.
How are we doing for time?
25 to 7.
Do you work with contracts at all? Do you have, Tiffany, would you have a contract with your performers?
I don't know if I gave you a contract, did I?
No, it's a bit
Yeah, I
of an unusual
do.
one.
I do normally send out a contract.
And what form would that contract take?
It's just sort of stating the period of employment and what we expect as a company, and that if the work is devised, that it still belongs to the company, that there's no and just terms such as is travel being paid, is this, but you know,
Yeah.
just to state things out quite clearly so there isn't any discrepancy.
Yeah.
It just makes things easier,
Mhm.
actually, if somebody's got a contract, because I'll often work with actors that I've never met before.
Yeah.
So in that case, they need to know, and I need to know that we're on the same page, so to speak. So,
Mm.
yeah.
How do you advertise for performers, for actors and actresses?
There's a couple of good sites, or I don't know what they're called sites, but there's a really good one that I use called Casting Call Pro, which you could all, and you're on Spotlight, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
No, you haven't needed to yet. You've been
No.
snapped up. So yeah, there's a few places like that, which are online agencies, I
Yeah.
guess. But then they have their own agents as well in person, the actors.
Yes. Yeah.
I've had a few actors through Casting Call Pro.
Yeah.
And I find it really easy. I mean, actually, you just get snowed under by applications,
Mm.
and then it breaks your heart because, you know, but, after a while you get a little bit more, okay, this is just a job, right, no, okay, can't take everyone on. And then when you do the auditions, oh my word, that's even worse, because they're brilliant, everybody's so good. And you don't, you know that you feel you've got a responsibility
Mm.
to these wonderful actors, but yeah, I find that really tough actually.
So the sort of people who go on to Casting Call
Casting
Pro,
Call Pro.
do they submit a photo and a bit of a
Well,
biog?
they've got a sort of a profile on there,
Yeah.
but they'll write you a letter, and actually it's really true to say that it's the ones that have made an effort to really talk about themselves and how they might suit that role and really why it suits them that stand out to you.
Yeah.
And because you're getting so many applications, so if you're not getting that information, you just don't bother then in that case, because
No.
you've got these others that are saying, I can do this and I can do that, and I
Yeah.
really want to,
Yeah.
and so you go with those. So that's a good tip.
Yeah. You want someone who's going to invest
Yeah.
in your company,
Yeah.
even before they've come to audition
Yeah.
for you almost.
That's it.
Yeah. Anything else? I think we might have covered all bases.
Yeah,
for-
everything was good. Yeah.
Really?
Thank you so much. That has been so informative. I think that's anybody else got any questions?
Are you all able to come to the show? You're all coming to the show?
I think so.
Yeah. Yes, of course you are.